What is going on, everyone? Scion's here with the Everyday Grind. I hope you all have had a fantastic Christmas season. Christmas is gone. New Year's right around the corner. 2020 going away. 2021 should be a very, very good year for a lot of us. I hope the best for you and your families and your loved ones and your friends. So Shadowlands has been out for about a month, a little over a month. What's the state of the game? Where's the game at? Is now a good time to play? There's all kinds of questions people have right now. I went through YouTube. I looked at all these things. One of the things that I didn't see was the potential content drought that I see coming. Again, not a lot of information coming from Blizzard specifically about when other versions of the game drop, you know, where's 9.1, 9.2, all of those things. So we're going to talk about those kind of things. We're going to talk about Mythic Plus. We're going to talk about raiding. We're going to talk about Torghast. We've got some new things coming up in Torghast in about 2 weeks once Blizzard comes back from vacation. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's see some gameplay. Let's go. Let's get into it right now. I wanted to take some time to let you guys know, as me, the everyday player, how I found the game, the things that I thought were good, not so good, and really where the game is going, in my opinion. So let's get started. The leveling experience was pretty good. The leveling experience was good. It was very smooth. There were some hiccups on high population servers where people couldn't log in and that kind of stuff. That lasted for a while. There were some hiccups in connectivity. Even now, even last night, as we were raiding, there were some hiccups in connectivity. But again, when you release an expansion and it's near the holiday season and most of your labor is off, you're going to run into some of that during a holiday release, but it's not overly bad. We're good. It's fine. The story was really good for leveling. It did get a little redundant because I leveled a few alts through at the same time, but that's expected. That's normal. Standard operating procedure. We're good. There was another option, Threads of Fate, which I don't think a lot of people understood. At the beginning of the expansion, if you didn't like Threads of Fate, you could go back, talk to the person in Ouroboros, and you could go back to the storyline. Well, that's not the case anymore. That's hotfixed. So if you pick Threads of Fate, it's kind of more of a group activity kind of thing where you're running spamming dungeons and all kinds of stuff and doing some world quests. You can already pick your covenant. You still have to go in afterwards, after Threads of Fate is done, and activate your covenant and do the quests to open things up and all of that. But again, not bad. It's not great, in my opinion. It's okay. It's another way to do it, but it's fine. It's fine. Gearing up during the first 2 weeks. Gearing up one character was actually not bad. Again, you just had to get in. It was the first 2 weeks. You could only do Mythic Zeros. Everyone was on an even playing field. Everyone was included. It wasn't really that hard to get to a 184 item level or a 181 item level. Most raid teams or Mythic Plus teams wanted 180 by the time everything opened up and started going. Really wasn't too hard to do. So I was very, very pleased by that. And now let's talk about Mythic Plus. And Mythic Plus at the beginning and Mythic Plus now. Mythic Plus at the beginning, again, not a face roll. We were learning some things, but again, not overly difficult. Just a smidge over the heroic difficulty as a 0. Not a big deal. Once you were able to plus those keys and get those keys higher, that's when the real rubber hit the road. People found it a little more difficult. I was personally discouraged because I was making some mistakes. I didn't understand some mechanics because it was just something I hadn't dealt with yet. And I cost somebody a key because the tank left. It was not good. I felt really, really bad. And I was really down and hard on myself for that. But that's not what you should be doing. And again, that's my fault. I made a video, I want to say a couple months ago, about how to beat the Raider IO score. Please check that out because that's important. And again, you have to get in there. You have to live in those lower keys, get your score up. You know, maybe you get into a +3 and you don't time it. Maybe you get into a +4 and you don't time it. The point is that you're still getting gear. You have time. You don't have to have that score right now. It doesn't have to be a right now thing. But again, Mythic Plus is a lot harder than I think we anticipated. Everyone was running 15s right? During BFA, not a big deal. And people were running 10s and 15s, not a big deal during the beta of Shadowlands. And I got to thinking to myself, you know what? I really think that those dungeons are going to be harder. Something's going to change there, because again, you want people to test things. So you're going to maybe not make those dungeons as hard so they can get more done, get deeper into that content to test it and find bugs and that kind of stuff during a beta. Well, let me tell you right now, Mythic Plus, even at a 7 or an 8 for an everyday player, it's challenging. It could be very, very challenging. You know, again, you need that dedicated group, or that really, really high performing group. Sometimes you'll find one in a pug. It's rare to get that plus 10, plus 12, plus 15. It's very, very difficult right now. Don't give up hope. Don't stop. Keep running those keys. It's going to be okay. Everyone will catch up. The skill set will change and you'll be fine. Let's get into raids. So raids, I think right now, Castle Nathria is probably one of the best raids we've had in a long time. Again, we've got more raids coming. Myself, I am 4 out of 10 heroic. I mean, pretty respectable overall. Not really where I want to be at the end of the day, but again, not bad. And the raid is really good. We've already cleared normal. We've seen all the fights. The storyline's good. The environment is awesome. So again, Blizzard has done their job at providing in-game content that looks good, that plays well. And you can't really take the world first race as an indication of, well, Blizzard isn't fixing things. Again, it's Mythic. They're in the top 0.01%. That's not you and me. They found some things. Blizzard fixed some things. That's the way it goes. I'm good with it. And now let's jump to Torghast. So Torghast in the beginning, everybody loved, right? Everybody loved it. Everybody loved it. It was great. Some classes had a harder time than others. That's to be expected, quite frankly. If you got to a layer 6 and you were having a hard time and you couldn't do it, I had a couple of those myself. It's really simple. You got to go get more gear, or maybe you group up with a couple people. But Torghast was never meant to just run in and do all the things right out of the gate. Again, there's some challenge there that's intended. So just know that, like, I know mages are having a hard time. There's been some fixes there. Healers, I think, are okay. They were having a hard time at the very beginning. Some melee classes that don't have a lot of throughput or heals or damage reduction kind of abilities overall, we're struggling a little bit. But again, a lot of that has been fixed. We're good there. And now we're what? Layer 8s, right? Layer 8s. Again, even what am I? I'm a 201 item level, and I'm not struggling with a layer 8, but I have to think about it. I have to think about maybe CCing something, or stunning something, or running in and popping all my cooldowns to clear, you know, a certain section so that I can move forward. And hopefully my 2 minutes will be up by the time I get to that last boss on the level, right? So you have to think about what you're doing. However, at some point, and we're going to get into this here really soon, there's going to be a content drought with this, and we'll talk about it. But while we're on the Torghast subject, coming out in a few weeks is a new layer 18. I believe it's Twisting Corridors section of Torghast. It's going to come out. It's going to be challenging. The day it comes out, you're not going to layer 18. Okay, I'm sorry, you're not. Maybe you get a couple layers, maybe you don't. The good news is that you get to go in and start where you left off, right? Maybe you need to go and get some gear. Maybe you can't finish it for a month, 2 months, because you're just not there. Or there'll be some groups that do it, right? Again, the everyday player, the casual player, you're not going to go rolling in and clearing 18 layers. It's not going to happen. So just keep that in mind. It's designed to be there for a while. So let's just enjoy it. Let's have fun with it. It'll be fine. So content drought right now. This is my thought process on the potential content drought. So for example, on my hunter, I don't need any more soul ash. Oh, I can get soul ash and maybe make some legendaries, right? I have a whole list of legendaries I've been able to find. I'm not even going to use them. There's more legendaries than I could give two shits about. I'm not going to use them. I'm not going to build them. I'm not going to make them. I'm not going to do anything with them. They're going to sit there as a collection of, I could have made it. So I'm almost on my rank 4 for my rating legendary. I do have a Mythic Plus legendary. I haven't created that yet or upgraded it. I probably will. Once I'm done with that, I will never go into those layer 8s again. What for? If I'm going to get, unless I need Soul Ash for something, if I don't need Soul Ash, I'm going to run the 18 layer one and just see what I can do, right? Same with alts after that. There's going to be a point here really soon where you don't need to run Torghast unless they have one of the callings to run Torghast. And in that instance, I mean, I just run a level 1, a layer 1, just run in, go 6 levels, done, got all my stuff, because I don't care. It's not important, right? So that's the content drop, because if you're not running Torghast, and maybe you've done your 1 or 2 Mythic Pluses, right? Because the vault on Mythic Plus, punishing. I'm going to come out and say it. Scion says the Mythic Plus piece of the vault is punishing. And it's punishing because you get your gear for doing your highest level, right? In the next section, if you've done 4 Mythic Plus, you're going to have more options, but it's going to be a lower item level. If you do 10, right, it's going to pick your, it's going to give you more options, but it's going to give you a lower, it's going to take your lowest item level or your lowest plus dungeon, and that's what you're going to get. So you're going to get a lower item level thing there, but you have a choice, right? Maybe it'll give you 3 choices. So I'm going to say right now, and I'm going to guess that most people will not go more than 2 or 3, right? So you've done that. You've done your 2 nights of raiding. There's 3 days. You've done your reset day. That's 4 days. Now you got 3 days. If you're, you know, three, you've got, now it's alt friendly, right? I took a tune that was Horde. It was a druid. I leveled it to 60. I got off for the night. I came back the next morning. I played 3 hours, and I was already at a 161 item level in 3 hours on this Tauren druid. So again, all the things are built in. I think my renown is like 8 or 9. All of the catch-up mechanics are built in. So one of the things that I was talking about with another streamer was, you know, it doesn't really feel that the expansion's alt friendly. Once you catch up with your main character, it takes like an hour. It's like an hour of gameplay. That's it. So why would you not just work on an alt? You have time, right? If you want to play the game more, there's time for that. Or after you've done your hour, go do something else. You know, go for a run, go lift weights, go outside. That's what I would do, right? You have more time. If you're only playing one character, you have a lot of time to do other things. So again, overall, my experience with Shadowlands right now, I would give it an 8 out of 10. It's really, really good. Now is the time to play. Anytime's the time to play Warcraft, but really now the story's good, the content's good, all of these things are really good. You are missing out, I believe, on a great game if you're not playing it right now. So that's it. That's all I've got. That's what I'm talking about. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe below. YouTube's been really, really great. It's been really blasting the last 3 months. I appreciate that. You can catch me on Twitch. I stream every day except Thursday. Come on in. Let's talk about things. New players are always welcome on my channel. Great community, great mods, very knowledgeable player base inside of the Scions community. If I don't know, we're going to figure it out. We're pretty smart most of the time. That's it for me, everyone. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.